Go inside. Hey, even now, step up, step up, step up, step up. Easy, step up. Charlie, go inside. Let's go. Matthews, drop! Hey! 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 Selena, you too! Let's go! Come on! Away!
Good afternoon, NPL Women's New South Wales fans. We certainly hope you're enjoying this beautiful sunny day in Sydney, and we are in Edmonton at Podmondetta Park for round 4 action between Western City Rangers and Sydney University. This is Eric Subihano on the mic from the box here at Podmondetta Park, and two teams, plenty of young talent, and I'm certainly looking forward to calling this one for you today. So, as the two captains, Alex Huon for the Rangers and Amelia Kirby for Sydney Uni, do the final pre-match formalities. And before kick-off, let's go through the two matchday squads. And firstly, for the Rangers, in goal will be number 88, Renee Kristanovska, and number 2, Holly Williams, number 4, Asia Zreika, number 6, Jakili Hook, number 7, Alex Huon, number 9, Despina Vasiliadis, number 10, Trista Seara, number 12, Maria Mostagimi, number 33, Rukaya Alfaraje, number 57, Trudy Camilleri, and number 99 is Gabriela Silva. The Rangers are coached by Milan Jovanovic. So, for Sydney Uni, their starting lineup is as follows. In goal is number 21, Chelsea Thromek, and the captain, number 5, Amelia Kirby, number 6, Juliet Harris, number 8, Madison van Dyke, number 9, Poppy Tay, number 16, Maria Savalias, number 18, Kiara Bonora, number 20, Ellen Hughes, number 24, Xanthi Juric, number 28, Isabella Rad, and number 39 is Asha Sutton. On the bench, firstly for the Rangers, backup keeper is Brianna Clark. The others who you may see later for the home team wearing their home kits, the predominantly green strip. The other Ranger subs are Ivana Garlich, Claire Holder, Isabella Preston, Selena Mifsud, Charlotte Page Johnson, and Layla Barton. While for Sydney Uni, Hannah Callahan is the backup keeper. And the other Uni subs, Alice Thompson, Jenny Hill, Emily Brewster, Noor Hijazi, Elizabeth Bieri, and Claudia Pickett. And Sydney Uni are coached, by the way, by Xavier Taylor. So as I said, Rangers in the green, and Sydney Uni in what is now very much the customary blue and gold corded kit. So usual kits for both, and it's not too long before we get underway. So this is one of 6 games in NPL Women's New South Wales Round 4 set to be played today. There's the whistle, away we go. So it won't be too long before all 6 are being played concurrently. This is one of, I think, 3 5 p.m. kickoffs. The others being UNSW versus Bulls and Wanderers versus MacArthur. Meanwhile, Apia versus the team from the Northern Beaches. Kicked off at 4:50 p.m. At 5:10 p.m. we'll see Ravens versus Stingrays, and at 5:40 p.m. is Sydney Olympic versus newly promoted Hills United. So plenty of choice for you NPL Women's New South Wales fans, and of course there was a game yesterday at North Taramara as well. But back to this one, as Zreika down the line, and I think it was Sarah with pass that was a bit off target, and Uni cannot really mount their first attack. Good defending, and it's Mostagimi in the middle there. Vasiliadis goes back, and here's Hook towards Alfaraje, but I think a hand up, it always tough for Alfaraje. She kind of had to jump to take it on the torso, and the ball goes out of play. Well, the exchange is certainly keenly fought, and that's happy to say it was the same story in the under-23 game just before this one. Rangers winning by the 0-0, the goal coming very early on, as that will be a free kick for Sydney Uni. And yes, and it's great to see. Oh, it's not new. It's not breaking news, certainly, that this patch has been converted to synthetic, but I think this is from memory that happened in 2024. But it is certainly great that you can have NPL women's action on this field, while the Mount Druitt men's team play on the grass field behind us. That's field number 1. Of course, I do believe this particular patch of synthetic turf is also used for local games in the Blacktown Association. So it's good to see a new facility getting plenty of use, as that appears to be aimed diagonal, but that'll run through to Kristanovska, who's pretty easy to pick out. Well, I mean, she should be as a goalkeeper, obviously, but also pretty easy to identify with her. What I would say is Kristanovska's now trademark baseball cap. By the way, of course, every NPL Women's New South Wales game I just mentioned, of course, can be viewed the same way you're watching this one. So if you've got multiple screens, it could be a chance to watch two or even three games at once. And as there's the whistle for a Rangers free kick. There's also the League One Women's Match of the Round for this weekend. That kicked off at 4:30 at Barton Park. That's between St George FC and SD Raiders. Delighted to see that one of the new members to our commentary team, Daniel Galterio, is on the mic for League One Women's action. As they've tried to find Sareka on the far side, but I think that's Sutton winning the ball for Uni. These two teams coming into this game, round 4. Of course, it's the early season, and Alfaraja pressing from the front, winning the ball back for the hosts. Alfaraja loves running at defenders, and I think that was good body positioning, and in the end, Harris winning the free kick. But yes, identical, in a sense, record so far for both Rangers and Sydney Uni. Both teams won in round 2, but their only points of this fledgling campaign so far, with those wins being bookended by losses in round 1 and round 3 for both sides, as that's a smart 1-2 with Camilleri. Now Hook. As the centre backs play it amongst each other. Hyun bounces it off Silva. Now Silva immediately under pressure, dispossessed. Rad winning the ball there. Sutton left hand side, and there's the run for Sydney Uni, but the flag is up, and Poppy Tay ruled to have moved just a little bit too early. Rangers passing it at the back under little pressure, at least for now. Of course, important to note, no surprise in these early season games that it's still quite warm, although this weekend's been a little bit cooler and more pleasant than the previous weekends in March. As that's Alfaraja cutting inside, running into 3 blue and gold jerseys. Harris is battling for the ball, and now Silva gains possession for the Rangers. Pass backwards to Hook. Now Silva has space, and the flag is going to stay down here. Whips it in, and it's gone all the way in from Gabriela Silva. And it's an early goal for the Rangers. She found space out wide and has floated the ball over the keeper into the net. And it is Rangers 1, Sydney Uni 0. 6 minutes played here at Popondetta Park. And for Silva, she did not have to wait too long to score her first goal in Mount Druitt colours.
Keep it up, let's go, let's go, let's go!
Now, Zreka with the interception. Let's pass back to Hyun. Kristanovska just taking it easy and finding Williams. Camillero's dropped a little bit deeper, but the ball rolls away from her. And it's a chance, I think, for Ellen Hughes to run at the Rangers' defence. Sideways pass to Van Dijk. Long range shot, but that's not going to bother the Mount Druitt goal.
Trudy, not too deep, just in beyond. Gilly.
And stop. And support, holding out.
It's wide. It's wide. Stretch it out. Good. Get the ball there, you go.
Go inside, slowly. Good.
Ruchi drops, you go.
Gabby, go across.
Now, with a loose ball. And Uni promising attack here, and possibly all the way into the box. Now, breaks for Hughes, and it's a good save. Good positioning. Now, there's a follow-up chance for Sydney Uni. It's put over the bar by Rad, but it was a strong run initially from Poppy Tay. Hughes had the shot, which was saved Rad, smart work to follow up, but spoons the shot just a little bit. Again, Uni might win it in Rangers territory, although Camilleri's quick enough to find Williams, and Williams goes safe back to the goalkeeper. Plenty of touches early on for the Rangers defenders.
Rookie and Des, Rookie, if you're going to go inside, Des, you go across.
Rangers staying patient. Now Hawk might need to hurry, and of course we apologise because those marquees in front of us, I mean, they are just very welcome to give the players some shade here, especially during the warm months of the year. I think we'll take it as read that the ball stayed in play, and now it's Uni with the ball at the back. Good header from Sreka. Sarah keeps it in. And Mostagimi a little bit off target, but it's all pretty safe for Mount Druitt in possession. Early stages here in Edmonton. Rangers leading by a goal to nil, courtesy of Gabriela Silva. To the 10th minute here, and Jaquili Hook had seen the opportunity to go forward, but now she'll have to run back as it's a strong run from Kirby here. Ball into the middle, looking I think for Poppy Tay, and Tay now into the action. That's Zantha Juric. Van Dijk with most of the Rangers behind the ball, goes direct, and the header from Hughes, and then was Juric trying to make a late run into the box, but good enough in the defending from Zreka. Sarah back defending and able to win the goal kick. So smartly done by the Rangers number 10. So for the Rangers, having looked at the schedule, this is the fourth of 4 home games in a row to start the season, so very important for them to make home field advantage count in the first half of the season. They actually have 9 games at Popondetta Park here in the opening 13 rounds. It's Hughes putting the pressure on for Uni. The Rangers keep it away from her. Hyun aiming longer, and now a bit of hesitation, and the keeper hesitated as well. Alfaraj is quick, and a bit of a tumble, but we go on. And I think Alfaraj are very pacey. You'd suspect that is Uni's one warning in terms of hesitation when the ball's played over the top. As the next time they hesitate, it might end up as a goal. Silva can't find a teammate, and now Tater run it up for Uni. Shouts to the left. That's Sutton, I think, but it's good positioning from Sreka. Mostagimi, quick pass out wide, but the ball's running too quick off the turf for Hook.
Double, Des.
Shout's not heeded. Rangers ball.
Get on the ball. Good. Move closer to Gabby. Let me go across.
Scans for options, decides the other central defender. Williams is the best bet. Now she'll go over the top this time. This time it's comfortable enough. Uni see it out for a goal kick. That's Juric, and Van Dijk short option, dishing off. Sutton's quick enough to keep possession for Uni. Sutton battling with Sarah, plays it forward. It's good, decent first, not first touch from Tay, but very textbook sliding tackle there from Alex Huynh. Now, that's one. He's aimed towards Vasiliadis. It's a big chance to make it two, and Vasiliadis, it's a good save from Promek. Rangers keep the ball. Just have to go back to Hook. Now, quick feet from Mostagimi. As all Uni players behind the ball now. I have to say, excellent one-on-one save from Promek to keep the score at 1-0. Oh, good turn from Mostagimi, and then that's unfortunate. She got rid of two players. Just a subtle little drop of the shoulder. Then the pass a little astray as it's Tay dropping deeper. Trying to build possession, but it's intercepted by Alfaraje on the right side. Still Alfaraje wanted to advance into the box. Good tackle. And she will settle for the throw-in. A little bit of pressure, but keeps it away from Rad. Back to the defenders and left to Hook. Rangers stay patient. Huynh looks long, aiming for Vasiliadis, and it's bounce possibly off Kirby. Alfaraje has been pinged for the challenge there. In fact, possibly a little bit of friendly fire, but it's all smiles between Alfaraje and Vasiliadis. And both of these teams had an excellent time out 2 weeks ago. As I said earlier, both won in round two and in very convincing fashion. It was here at Popendetta Park. Actually, it was a previous match of the round, if I remember correctly, with the Rangers defeating Spirit by 5-1. And that weekend wasn't too bad for Sydney Uni either, round two, as they went up to the Arctic Circle and the ground in Right Council that we in Football New South Wales media tend to nickname the Arctic Circle. And it was Uni pretty much freezing out the Ravens, winning by 4-1 2 weekends ago. I'm sure both teams would rather me talk about round two than about last weekend, but it's a tough old competition, this one. And certainly suspect there won't be many, if any, easy games over the 26-round campaign, as Mostagimi loses out here and Tay will go sideways. Hughes. Now Van Dijk. Composure there in the middle of the field, and then, well, I think Sutton thought that Urich was charging forward in an overlap. She was not. And the ball is back with the hosts. th minute here in Edmonton. Rangers 1, Sydney Uni 0. Eric Shibihano with the commentary from Popendetta Park, as it's Kirby getting well forward to pressure Hook, just trying to disrupt any Rangers attempts to play it out from the back. As Huynh shifts it sideways to Zreika, and Zreika now Sutton fell over, then rolled, took the ball, and is now going to run straight at the Rangers defence into the box, taken on Huynh, and it's a tight angle, and it rolls agonisingly from a Uni perspective across the face of goal, and I think it might have been Raj that made the far post run but couldn't get there in time. And good enterprising work from Asher Sutton, who wasn't at all bothered by being knocked to the synthetic turf and knocked to the turf legally, it has to be said. Little roll, got the ball, got up and just started running at the defence. That's what we love to see from wingers. as this loops up, and then it's headed by Harris. And Juric, but Camilleri trying to calm things down for Uni. Williams under pressure, and then Hook shifts it forward, and Vasiliadis loses touch, and that'll be easy for Hromek. Now, through ball, and Vasiliadis is onside again, one-on-one, and she gets the shot away. It's blocked by Harris. Alfaraja keeps it alive. Backwards pass, and then decent effort on target, but Silver's shot saved. Good work from Hughes. Keeps it in now outside of the foot pass. That's nice work to find Rad. One in the middle. Another player arriving, but Williams good positioning to block the cross, and Hook with the play towards halfway. Now Udi back to Hromek, and they pass around the pressure from Alfaraje. Van Dijk looks up, and the wide option was Kirby trying to get forward. And Hook has blocked the forward progress at the expense of the throw-in. Strong defending from Williams there. Ball back with Rangers. So, balance there from Mostagimi under pressure from Tay. Once again, ball with the centre backs for the Rangers. It goes direct and takes a touch off Uni, ends up with Silva, and the layoff. Well, was a decent idea from Silva, looking for Alfaraje. Uni quick in the midfield to win the ball back, and actually might keep an eye on Alfaraje. Hopefully she's just fixing her gear. But down the other end, Sutton is dispossessed by Zreka. Try and go on a run. Mostagimi needs to get involved, and now here's Hughes. And I think that's Juric. Sutton whips it in, and it's driven towards the near post, but it's an easy grab for Kristanovska. And Vasiliadis in the center circle. That's Alfaraje. Good target forward play. She's brought it, brings Sarah into the play, and now once again they aim for Vasiliadis. That'll run through to the keeper. Now Tay can try to hold it up. It's good, strong defending from Williams there. And now Vasiliadis, I think she's had a few big runs recently, and in any case, even with the freshest of legs, I don't think she was going to get to that one. Ball down the line. Touch. Officials decide touch off Rangers. Now it'll be Kirby, Sydney Uni captain. Take the throw in right in front of us. Down the line. Gains another 10 meters. Alfaraje backing in, header from Harris to find Van Dijk, and yep, that stayed in, but some Actually, sorry, I've heard. Well, clearly my eyes are not to be trusted sometimes. So I thought that was going to be Rangers' ball. It was not, although now it's definitely Rangers' ball. Zreika down the line, Sarah. And Williams has some room in front of her. Mostagimi again. Uni doubled up on her quickly. Win possession. Now, the ball which goes straight to Williams. There's something Uni. There's a little bit of promise when Uni are able to win the ball in midfield and quickly move forward, but it must be said, Rangers have a lot of experience at the back. As this ball comes in, Zreika, a bit of an awkward hop, but no one really attacking it for Uni. Played out of the box. Rad with a touch. And Uni trying the right side here. Hughes allowed to turn and drive into the box. Shoots, but it'll hit the big fence behind the Rangers goal. I said now. Okay, so okay, so Rangers. They wanted. Trying to see what was happening. Holly Williams looking not feeling the best at the moment, so I think there's the signal. The physio will be coming on. I'm sure I saw the signal. Alex Huon kicking it out so her fellow central defender can receive some treatment. Yeah, he didn't. There's possibly time for a recap. Of course, tough work out there. And some players taking the chance for a few drinks as well. So a quick recap so far as we're in the 25th minute here at Popendetta Park. And it's the Rangers leading by 1-0. The goal coming from Gabriela Silva, ball from out wide, floating in at the far post. But Uni they've definitely been in the game. Some promising attacks. I think I said the point I said earlier, when they're able to win the ball in the middle third and then drive forward quickly, it does look promising, although to finish the point I was trying to make earlier. Plenty of experience at the back for the Rangers. I mean, Alex Huon, an incredible footballing CV, and it is good to see her back in the NPL New South Wales as well. It's good to see players with plenty of experience playing in this competition. Alex Huon, plenty of A-League experience as well, and in fact does have a midfielder's cap to her name as well, which was earned, if memory serves me correctly, about 5 years ago. Holly Williams, of course, she is receiving treatment right now, but in her own right, an NPL championship winner back when she was with MacArthur Rams. So as Rangers central defence, you'd have to say one of the best in the competition, although there is some concern over Williams at the moment. In fact, as this stoppage goes on, the players just having a chat amongst themselves in terms of what they've seen so far. In fact, Mount Druitt coach actually I believe our Mount Druitt coach tried to kick it to one of their players just so they could keep warm. In fact, yes, they will. So Williams, initial sign is positive. At least she's able to move off the field, although I wonder, I'm no physio. Looks like she perhaps see the left arm or left wrist feeling uncomfortable, so that's one to keep an eye on. Now, the instruction seems to have been, for the time being, with Rangers down to 10 players, Mostagimi will drop into central defence, and ball sportingly thrown back to the Rangers. But Mostagimi, she playing in midfield today, or at least how she started. Has played a lot in this competition as a central defender, so she's certainly not playing out of position. And she is getting the ball right now. Hook trying to make some space and has won the free kick. Now Williams back on the field of play. It's good to see she wasn't out of action for too long. It would be such a shame if the Rangers would go down to 10 players. Oh, sorry, not go down to 10 players. If Rangers were needing to make a sub in the first half due to injury.
Sydney Uni goal. Now, ball down the line, headed up, and then another couple of headers leads it to Alfaraje. Silva, back heel to Vasiliadis, and then Vasiliadis has given it straight to Tay. A run at Huon, but a heavy touch allows Reka to intervene. Uni still have it, and space might be on the left, but they've gone right, at least for now. Van Dijk in the centre circle for Uni, and she's won the free kick. Approaching the half-hour mark here at Edmonton. Oh, here in Edmonton. Rangers 1, Sydney Uni 0. Gabriela Silva with the early goal for Rangers, and Eric Subihano here with the commentary. Out wide. Juric down the line, Sutton. And they double up on Sutton. Couple of step overs. Juric supporting the attack now. Now the ball inside, intercepted by Silva, and there could be an opportunity for the Rangers here. There's space for Trista Seara. Through to Alfaraje, and too heavy the pass, so Kromek gathers. Right, finds the open player. Now go direct, and Sutton will chase, will get the jump here. Sutton resumes a battle with Zreka. It's the turn. Zreka sticks to the task. Across, it's low and defended at the near post by Williams, who slams that into the fence. It's good defending. Benora stepped up from the back here. Looks up and delivers. Now free header, that's Isabella Rad. She's flicked it wide of the target. Good play from Benora. Measured the pass, measured the cross into the middle. Rad drifting in on the blind side of a defender, but could not hit the target. To us is very far forward, almost as an extra attacker. And that's on the left, and the ball, Rangers have gone right. Zreka inadvertently bounces it off the defender. Now Hyun and Hook are still open if they want to switch it out to the left. Now, decent pass, Camilleri moving forward, and a deflection. Van Dijk's got to be quick. Camilleri also quick, and slides in there and has fouled Van Dijk there. Go direct, and now that think maybe Sutton changed her mind at the last moment. Anyway, Rangers ball, and good turn from Mostagimi. Just too much blue and gold for her to deal with there.
Sutton, and can't trick away past Raker. Well, she hasn't given up here. Sutton ends up as that. I think the decision's gone against Sutton there. Yes. In fact, I think we're going to just have to cool things down before we get back underway. Now, while we have a little bit of time, a reminder that the NPL Women's New South Wales Team of the Round for Round 4 will be released tomorrow on Monday, comprised of 3-2-1 votes from the Football New South Wales media. Of course, we've got one person at each game, so from that description, pretty easy to find out who's doing the votes, I would have thought, but always fascinating to see who makes Team of the Week. One would suggest, after scoring 4 goals last night, that Tanae Morris will be one of those players. But we'll have to wait and see. Now that'll be room for Sarah. And low into the box. Alfaraja gets the touch, but it ends up with the keeper. Booming kick up. Tay, and I think Tay's accidentally fallen to Keely Hook. We're going to have a stoppage here, just to make sure that Hook's okay, because that was an uncomfortable one. I don't think, no, we can't say that. Definitely no intent from Tay there, just the way they fell. And yep, the trainer has been signalled onto the field. About 11 minutes to play in the opening period. It's good to see, because you always do worry when a player grabs their head or their neck, but already up to her feet, so yeah, of course you've got to take head injuries seriously, so Rangers just doing the necessary checks. And more hydration going on in front of the 2 technical areas, but hopefully it's not too long before we see Jakili Hook back on the field. And a good start to the season, Jakili Hook already has 2 goals for the campaign in the very early stages. And matching the feat of Trudy Camilleri and Trista Serra, who have also scored twice in the opening 3 rounds. Hook is up and is just waiting for the signal. And yeah, the assistant nearest to us has allowed Hook back onto the field. As Williams takes on 2, and threads it through, and it does get to Camilleri. Now Silva, center circle, looks up. Now Alfaraja trying to sneak in behind. There's the header from Kirby. Might get to Alfaraja anyway. And Sutton, who appears to have switched flanks, at least for the time being, calming it down, and Uni work it back to the keeper, Romek. And out the other side with Benora. Benora. So short, I think that's Van Dijk dropping between the centre backs. Good ball out to Kirby. Kirby wins the throw in off Alfaraja. Rangers ball and deflects off Juric, and then Savalias lost her footing. It was an unfortunate moment for Sydney Uni. Of course, given the recent stoppage, just keeping an eye on Hook. Also pretty handy, she's the closest player to our filming position, so possibly the one play I'm guaranteed of identifying correctly. Hook appears to be okay, and she's moving forward on this attack down the left. Ball is on the right with the Rangers. Camilleri, first time. Mostagimi. Now Silva dropping deeper. Williams. Now that gets away from Vasiliadis.
energy in Vasiliadis. So she defends from the front. So there we go. And indirectly, that Vasiliadis tackle led to a recovery of possession. Now, this Rangers throw far side, but there we go. Probably counts as a commentator's curse. We're good for one of those per game. Now, ball's back with Sydney Uni. Van Dyke. And that's going to be a big chase for Rod, but she's going to make a go of it. And good positioning and anticipation. Just playing it safe over the touchline. Attempted switch of play. Smart header from Hook to avert the danger. Now Uni have a throw on the side nearest to us. Savalias. Now it will make its way to Van Dyke. And back to Harris. Bonoro. Van Dyke again, getting plenty of touches in the first half. Good defending from Hook. But did it make its way? Well, it did make its way to Sutton. Oh, sorry, to Kirby, my apologies, but flag for offside. Williams releases it, but overhit. Let's work back to Kristanovska. About 5 minutes to play. And the opening period with Rangers leading Sydney Uni by 1-0, courtesy of Gabriella Silva. About the 6th minute. Hewen aims it, and there's the header from Juric. Now, actually, it ends up being up for grabs, and Van Dijk's reacted quickest. Good touch from Rad. Now Rad centrally, here's Sutton, and now Asher Sutton gets past one challenge. Sutton will shoot, and it takes a touch. And did Kristanovska prevent the corner? She did not. So, incredibly, after about 40 minutes, we will have our first corner of the game. It goes to the students.
One each from in front. Who's on 23 in front?
Now, instructions from the Rangers bench about how to defend this set piece. Both Uni central defenders up from the back, Bonora and Harris. There's the delivery, and off Williams, and then up off Hook's forehead, and Uni trying to make something of this, but in the end it's an easy claim for Kristanovska. Now, do they break quickly? And Kristanovska, well, Faraja did have space, but she's decided for a more measured approach. I suppose that is the luxury of having the lead. Now, Kristanovska under pressure, boots it to the center circle. Header from Harris, and Bonora was a bit awkward, but easy enough to play back to the keeper. Romek, well, cool with Vasiliadis advancing. Uni working it through the center. Van Dyke. They keep it moving, and then Hewen ought to have got the ball, and now there's numbers for the Rangers on this side of the field, and one of them is Vasiliadis. Bit of a tight angle, doesn't fancy it on the left foot. Plays it to Alfaraje. Speed to get round the defender. Now crosses to the far post. Now Sarah might make something of this. And Promek could have fallen on that, decided not to take any risks. She's got to get back in position quickly. Zreka has the ball. Gets it back from Mostagimi. Sarah, and
Silva does her best to keep it alive. Sutton's a little bit deeper and, well, safety first. Plays it out. Plays the ball out near halfway.
Dad, come this way.
Now that decision's going to go the way of the students. Bonora, attempted diagonal, Hook does not cut it out, so this will make it all its way, I think, to Kirby, and Kirby just about kept it in, but now Hook's got the front position, but you know, deep inside her own territory, and Uni might have won it back. Sutton wants to run, loves running at defenders, but it's good defending from Vasiliadis. Using the body, finding Van Dijk, and open play on the left side is Juric. First time ball to the near post, and Huon well positioned there. The ball goes over the sideline. That's going to get away from Kirby, Sydney Uni skipper. I'm just going to keep an eye up. It's okay. All's okay with Gabriela Silva, just fixing her bootlaces. A short throw there for the Rangers. Williams to the keeper. Cool as Uni start to press, but Uni might have got this back. And Tay couldn't take advantage of the win, the possession in opposition territory. My smartphone stopwatch, we are into time added on at the end of the first half. There was a bit of concern earlier for Holly Williams and Jakili Hook, but I don't think there'll be too much time added on before the teams go to the dressing sheds. Incorrectly. I think I heard 4 minutes time added on, of which we've had 1 minute, and Sutton putting the pressure on. Here's Sutton, edge of the box, low shot, which is fielded by Kristinovska. Little example of the new ruling. Once the keeper's possession, the ref counts the time down. Kristinovska releasing it pretty quickly. She'll have it again. Played off and boomed forward. Strong win in the air from Bonora. And Bonora again keeps it temporarily away from the Rangers, but really only for a moment. Hosts have it, and Hook, early ball, Alfaraja. Alfaraja lunging, couldn't quite make it stick. Vasiliadis strong defending against Kirby and finds Hook. Good turn from Hook. And then attempted ball down the line, soft target. So Kirby looking for options, but don't think she's taken. Yeah, there we go. So officials making sure Kirby takes the throw in from the correct position. Now, Rod was quick, and Williams is scrambling back. Rangers double up on Rod, and it's good defending from Williams. Now, Wasagimi's got to be quick. He is. Silva calms it down, and Stanovska taking over. And there we go. There's a halftime whistle. It's a case of so far so good for the Rangers. They are leading by 1-0 over Sydney Uni. And the goal came early on. Gabriela Silva's first goal for the club. Ball from out wide floating in at the far post. Plenty of endeavour from both sides, and this game's certainly far from over. This is Eric Subihano with the commentary from Popondetta Park. We'll take a break of about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll be back for the second half. See you soon.
in the other direction.
Right, girls, we're kicking off. We've got 7 on the field. Let's move. Rookie, let's go. Go, ladies, big shift, hey, big shift.
Yes, welcome back to the second half of our NPL Women's New South Wales coverage from Popondetta Park. There's the whistle. A fascinating 45 minutes awaits us. Rangers currently holding a slender 1-goal advantage, and certainly plenty of promise and plenty of expectation for Rangers. Of course, they have the advantage, but Sydney Uni, I think, some promising runs, in particular from Asher Sutton. Some good distribution in the midfield from Madison Van Dyke, among others. And so they're certainly not out of it, as it's Rad. The ball that was then blocked off by those in green. Shun back to Kristanovska. Of course, I will do my usual early second half thing of checking the jersey numbers and the faces out there to see if there are any halftime subs. 99.9% confident that the Rangers are as they were to begin the game. And you know what? It's the same case for Sydney Uni. So as this ball comes into the middle, Tay can't really get a touch. Williams holding off the Sydney Uni number 9. Might do a quick refresher of the 2 sets of 11 players out there when the opportunity presents itself. But first, there will be a Sydney Uni corner, their second of the game. And it's going to be Asher Sutton over to the far corner. Look like we'd anticipate left foot, some kind of in-swinging delivery comes up. Rangers have left everyone forward, except Alfaraja as the corner comes in. Attacking it was Harris, but it is allowed to bounce by both teams. And then that, it was just safety first clearance into the grassy, the little mound on which this filming box is situated. Hughes eased out of it. There's Van Dyke. Now, Rangers trying to press. Uni shifting it quickly. And there's Van Dyke seeing the open player. And now Sutton. Asher Sutton wants it back on the left foot. And Sutton shoots. Saved by Kristanovska. So for Rangers, I might sneak through a little reminder of the 11 players out there. So in goal is Renee Kristanovska. The 4 at the back from left to right would be number 6, Jakili Hook, number 2, Holly Williams, number 7, Alex Hyun, and number 4, Asia Zreika. In midfield, I have it as number 12, Maria Mostagimi, number 57, Trudy Camilleri, and number 99, Gabriela Silva, today's goal scorer. Number 3 up front, number 9, Despina Vasiliadis, number 33, Rukaya Alfaraja, and number 10, Trista Serra. Hyun with the foot in there. Mostagimi, Camilleri, Mostagimi again. That's decent passing in the middle, but then another commentator's curse, and Poppy Tay to take it away before Jakili Hook has had enough of that and sends it over the sideline. For Sydney Uni, I have them also in roughly a 4-3-3 shape. What I'm 100% sure of is the goalkeeper is Chelsea Hromek. 4 at the back from left to right, that'd be number 24, Zanta Juric. Number 18, just playing this pass right now, Kiara Bonora. Number 6, Juliet Harris. And number 5, the captain, Amelia Kirby. In midfield, number 8, Madison Van Dyke. Number 16, Maria Savalias. And number 20, Ellen Hughes. And up front, number 28, Isabella Rad. Number 39, Asher Sutton. And number 9, Poppy Tay. As there's a shot from distance, and it's loops, promising for a little moment. But a hop off the synthetic trophy into Renee Kristanovska's gloves. So, as it's played up, and then Hughes with the header. Van Dyke tries to cushion it and does nicely. And then a bit of a loose pass there from Sydney Uni. It's actually too long before we see some substitutes. But perhaps might run through those subs as well there. Bonora with a not very subtle foul on Alfaraja there. Good to see Alfaraja still all smiles. So Rangers subs, plays with Macy before too long. Brianna Clark is the backup keeper. The others, Ivana Garlich, Claire Holder, Isabella Preston, Selena Mifsud, Charlotte Page Johnson, and Layla Barton. Sydney Uni subs. Hannah Callahan is the backup keeper as Alfaraja will chase this. Back to the action, and Alfaraja with a shot. Harris throwing herself in front of the ball. But yes, Hannah Callahan, the backup Uni keeper. The other subs, Alice Thompson, Jenny Hill, Emily Brewster, Noor Hijazi, Elizabeth Bieri, and Claudia Pickett. As I think that's, well, actually, perhaps I think it might have been Alfaraja actually kind of an instinctive lunge with the hand while the ball was still in play. So yeah, Uni with a restart, and Alfaraja is pressuring the keeper, and Romek's got to be quick. She just about gets it to Kirby. Strong tackle from Mostagimi in the centre. Now Hook, but Hook has it taken away from her. And of course, I did mention it was quite warm at the start of this game. There's Kirby down the right, cuts it back. Williams lunges, and then handball against Poppy Tay, called against Poppy Tay. Yeah, it was quite warm at the start of this game, and it was very warm for most of the under-23s game preceding this one. Under-23s won by Rangers, a 1-0. Possibly a sign of how it's cooling down here. The shadows lengthening as well. That actually, both Rangers marquees in front of us have been taken down, so the sun perhaps not as much of a bother to the two teams as it was earlier in this game. Decent touch off the torso from Zreika, and now Camilleri. Gets Hughes with the hustle there, plays it straight back to Zreika. Zreika again, lunging is Juric. Now Rad, and Rad could play the through ball. Poppy Tay wanted it. I think she's going to be called onside here, and ball into the middle, but nobody there. And I think the call from the Uni bench is that Tay needed a bit more support. But anyway, it's with Kristanovska, and she sends it towards midfield. Now, Rangers at the back, Zreika and Kristanovska. Of course, Kristanovska now under pressure, quick enough to get it away from Raj and towards Williams. But then the ball is played out, and to suggest the longer the score stays as it is, the less time the Uni defenders and keeper will have on the ball. At some point you think Uni will start being more aggressive with their pressing. Sutton battling against Hook, and Hook has defended well, but the ball did not go out of play and played in, defended at the near post by Williams. Played in, and Hyun has cleared it, and now she's feeling a bit sore. We'll have a stoppage, possibly accidental collision between Hyun and Poppy Tay. I was able to sneak a quick look. It's good to see Hyun's back up, so we don't need to have the physio on. I was able to sneak a quick look at the various NPL women's streams. As Van Dyke has a shot, Rangers get in the way. And provide, if I can, my multitasking ability pending, of course. We do like to go around the grounds here and update you on the various score lines. And by the way, it's the second half. Perhaps might issue a warm welcome to anyone who's tuning in after the conclusion of the Japanese Formula One Grand Prix. If you don't want a spoiler, I'd suggest you mute the stream for the next 15 seconds or so. I'll let you mute it. I was over at Suzuka, P2 for Oscar Piastri. It's amazing. As Oscar said post-race, it's amazing what happens when he actually starts the race. Anyway, back to this game. And Seira to Mostagimi, look left and hook. Will play it into Sutton, I think. Savalias now play it to Sutton. Tay wants the early ball, but she's looking at the line as well. Instead, it was aimed at Rad. Rad's taken it away from Williams. Now Tay has it. Tight angle, but runs around the defender. Poppy Tay, and it's defended by Zreka. Necessary inside the 6-yard box. And crucial from the Rangers right back. It's played in again. Headed up by Mostagimi. Tay shot on the turn. Straight at Kristanovska. Now, let's keep an eye on Mostagimi. I think she's just fixing a bootlace. And she'll be up before too long. Kristanovska lets the time run down and then plays it towards the center circle. Here's Silva. Now Seira. And Mandy Van Dyke read that like the Sydney Morning Herald. And she's had a productive shift in central midfield for the students today. Here's Kirby. And Kirby, a long range shot, which will be wide. So last time I checked, so of course, apologies if this is the situation has changed, but I was at the halftime break. I was like quickly flicking through the various YouTube streams for NPL Women's New South Wales over at Lambert Park. The last time I checked, it was RPR leading the team from the Northern Beaches by 3-1. One amongst the goals for RPR, Maya Loba, and I'm happy to say that my good friend Ashley Leder scored her customary goal against Manly. Well done, Ash. As that's cleared by Alex Yoon. Other update from the Village Green, venue with one of the best names in our Football New South Wales competition. Vasiliadis is defending there, but Sydney Uni still have it. Aiming at Hughes, and Hughes is going to make it awkward. Kuhn takes a tumble. Rangers come away with the ball now. Valfaraja needs support, and the pass is behind Silva, but in front of Seira. Silva tries to drop one over the top, and Alfaraje has been brought down, and it's going to be a red card for Kiara Benora. The decision is denial of a clear goal scoring opportunity. Just got harder for Sydney Uni, down to 10 plays for the remainder of this game. Great ball over the top from Silva. Today's goal scorer looking to turn provider, dropped one over the top. Alfaraja using her pace. I did say in the first half, as there was some hesitation when Alfaraja looked to run through, I did say that was their one warning. Well, another ball over the top played well. And Uni have paid the price. But, you know, there's still plenty of work to do before Rangers can say they've earned the 3 points. And while we check that Alfaraja is okay, because she did fall awkwardly, sitting up, which is a good sign, taking a drink. As some players, actually most of the some of the Mount Druitt players have used this opportunity to take a drink. And you see Alfaraja's back to her feet. She should be able to stay on the field because the foul, I think she was about to go off the field and the ref just reminded her the treatment was because of a foul for which a card was shown, so she's allowed to stay on. Now, as Mount Druitt organise this set piece, although they probably want all of their players to be back in position, did go back to events in Kensington at the Village Green. Great name for a ground. Last time I checked, it was UNSW teaching a footballing lesson to the Bulls. They were leading by 2-0 at halftime, and those goals courtesy of Milan Hammonds and Demi Koulazakis, or the Demi-Goddess, as one friend calls her. Great nickname, that. Anyway, back to this game, and Silva assessing the set piece. Promix arranged for 4 in the wall. Yes, it was the perfect position for a left footer, just right of the center of the field. It does look like it'll be Silva. She measures it. It's low, and a couple of hops off the synthetic. Easy save for Hromek. How do Sydney Uni reorganize things? Down to 10 players, of course. I can see Xavier Taylor actually below us in the Sydney Uni technical area, giving instructions to a couple of players, so I think Sydney Uni will make changes before too long. And the floodlights, as the shadows lengthen, the floodlights have been switched on here at Popondetta Park Field 2. So, looks like Savalias and Sutton are the players to be withdrawn. And coming on, number for Sydney Uni, number 3 is Alice Thompson, and number 17 is Emily Brewster. And also, by the way, I go around the grounds. It's also full-time in the League One Women's Match of the Round at Barton Park, as Jakeli Hook will be told to take the phone from the correct position. Yes, and SD Raiders, and a big 6-2 victory over St George FC at Barton Park. Thank you to long-time Football New South Wales media member, and sometimes, and who's just joined the commentary team, but anyway, Justin Smith providing the updates from events at Barton Park. Thank you, Justin. Now, I wonder, it might take me a few minutes to, as Van Dijk takes a tumble this time, the decision goes Sydney Uni's way, but it'll take me a few minutes to figure out what kind of reshuffle, if any, Sydney Uni have done. I mean, I'm certainly no round ball analyst, but I think lots of you would prefer it that way, to be honest. Thompson gets it back. There's some space here. Thompson, long range shot. Simple stuff. Simple stuff for Kristanovska now. Well, some equipment. Actually, Sydney Uni down to 9 players until just now. Emily Brewster forgot to take off a chain, and I think big thank you to one of the Sydney Uni subs, Jenny Hill, for sorting that out. So now Brewster involved and looking to take a place in Uni central midfield, so suggests she's more or less a straight swap for Maria Savalias. With by the way, Alice Thompson replacing Asher Sutton as a wide attacker, a wide-ish attacker for Sydney Uni. Marshalling back to the keeper. Kristanovska just goes for safety. 64th minute here. And Edmonton, Rangers 1, Sydney Uni 0. Goal came early on from Gabriela Silva. And recently a red card to Chiara Bonora of Sydney Uni as well. That's Eric Subihano here. I hope you're enjoying this stream as much as I'm enjoying calling the action for you. Whether you're watching at home in comfort or you're on the go, that's the great thing about YouTube streaming. Very easy to access. Hughes out wide. That's Thompson. Thompson will advance it and shoot. And actually getting encouragement from the Sydney Uni bench for taking the initiative. Even though the shot very well off target, but find some promising space, Alice Thompson. Now, looks like a 4-3-2 shape. Or at least in certain phases of play for Sydney Uni. I'll keep an eye on that one as Camilleri forward to Silva. And Silva, that's a nice ball for Sarah. And Trista Sarah will head straight to the box. And the shot takes a touch and grabbed at the near post by Frommel. Now, again, more space for Trista Sarah. Cut back. Alfaraja, decent first touch, and shoots from the tight angle. Oh, and it hands on heads for some Rangers players. And it floated up and agonizingly wide of the far post. Promek now smartly retrieving the ball. She knows time is of the essence. About midway through the second half here. Now, Huon has got a scramble now. In fact, that's good work from Zreka. Just a little run across the line of an opponent at the last minute to provide a little bit of a, what do we call that, a legal shepherd. It's those little defensive arts that often go unnoticed. Juric to take the throw. It's headed from Mostagimi. And now Juric. Hughes in the corner, tight spaces, and then she has not managed to provide a telling cross. Well, I gave a score update, probably do a complete score update. The last time I checked, this might have changed by now, but when I checked at halftime, the other games being played today, which are Wanderers, MacArthur, Ravens, Stingrays, and Olympic versus Hills, all 0-0. One for Alfaraja to chase, but should be straightforward. And Fromek well outside the box to Juric. Rangers sense the opportunity to press. And have it Mostagimi. Space to run into. Prods it forward. There's numbers definitely for the home side. Silva floats one in. Mostagimi's made a great run. There's the flick. And, it's not been held, and she's ruled to have kicked it out of the keeper's hands there. Tell you what, Mostagimi done a lot of work, good work just in front of the back four. And good enterprising play from the Rangers number 12, saw her chance to move forward. She took the space that was afforded her, in fact ended up all the way in the box with a chance. Now a run from Tay. Williams is quick enough, but Tay's making it awkward. And then Williams is questioning the decisions. Now, Noor Hijazi, by the way, is going to be the next player on for Sydney Uni. Ellen Hughes will make way from and quickly hurries off. Excuse me. Hughes hurrying off just over the goal line next to Renee Kristianovsky's goal. And Noor Hijazi straight into the fray. That's the third sub that Sydney Union made today. Alfaraja looking to hold it up. And now it ends up with Poppy Tay. Alice Thompson is an option essentially, but it's a strong run from Tay until Holly Williams has put an end to that. I was never a great defender, but even so, I appreciate a good tackle. But now, they could have given it away to Hijazi. Zreka. And Zreka still Scrambling, it's floated up and at the back post. That's Thompson. Tight angle, cuts it back, couldn't get enough on it to find Tay. Forward, and Alfaraja couldn't get the better of Van Dijk there. So Sydney Uni, they're certainly making a game of it. Another run from Thompson. And Williams still, well, Thompson's still battling away. Might get a chance. Hook gets in the way. Long range shot, and well, Sareka and the deflection, and it's all's well that ends well for Uni. Oh, sorry, for Rangers. My apologies. Now, as Kirby trying to take the initiative, as Sydney look for an equaliser. We're into the final 20 minutes here. Lurch screaming for it on the left-hand side. Uni choose to go down the right. Kirby, good header from Mastagini. Camilleri. That's great skill. The kind of close control you'd expect from the futsal national team captain. Now, oh, that's a bit of a straight touch. And Hijazi, the fresh legs off the bench for Uni, smartly winning the ball back. Harris. Hijazi now to Van Dijk, who looks to be at centre back now as part of that reshuffle they made in the second half. Hook intercepts, that's good. Now, well, Alfaraja went short, Hook went very, very long. Players not quite on the same wavelength there. Here's Harris. Woolwich. Woolwich doesn't like what's in front of her, goes all the way back so they can start again. Sydney Uni with Romek. Van Dijk. Now, pocket of space here. It's a good driving run from Thompson, and Alice Thompson shoots, and it is a diving save from Kristanovska. Alice Thompson, it's been a good decision to bring her off the bench. She's really livened things up on that side for Uni. Camilleri, nice ball. Hook gets there ahead of Kirby, and it's a good first touch. Jakili Hook cuts inside. Now trying to pick the pass, and kind of splits the difference between Silva and Sayara. So Uni trying to play it out and do not get very far. Now it is a Mount Druitt sub doing some warm-ups. I believe that will be Charlotte Page Jonsson, who looks most ready to come on. Actually, Jonsson, like quite a few players on the bench for this first grade game, was active in the under-23s game just before this one, so double duty for quite a few players out there. Sarah. And then, what's the decision? Decision is offside against Mount Druitt. And now off Tay's shoulder, if anything, but she's still going to chase it. And Huon heads over the sideline. Kristanovska, I think she's going to run every second down now before using the gloves. Boots it. Wrapping first is Rod. Van Dijk. And then In fact, that's going to be a foul called against Alfaranja, late contact.
Down and play.
Field almost completely in shadow now, and in fact, one of the Uni players going to have a brief talking to. No, actually, in fact, there's some blood. It's visible blood. So once again, Uni down to 9 players for however long this takes to get fixed. A few more score updates for this stoppage. Still 0-0 between Ravens and Stingrays. Also 0-0 between Wanderers and Rams. It's 3-0 to UNSW over Bulls FC Academy. And by the way, as that is going to be another foul called against Alfaraj. And while she gets a talking to, I, for one, think Apia will be very pleased with how things have gone today. Yes, Apia leading the team from the Northern Beaches by 4-1, closing stages there. Anyway, the delivery from Harris, it's up and easy for Kristanovska. Okay, well actually, yes, that's fair enough because there's quite a bit of blood on Poppy Tay's jersey. So a very quick pit stop required as the flag's going to go up against Vasiliadis. In fact, yes. Yes, so they're using Ellen Hughes' jersey. I love when this happens. And there's a...
No, that stays on. It has to stay on. Yeah, it has to stay on.
Yes, and I think they're making an impromptu number 201 using tape for Poppy Tay and using Ellen Hughes' jersey. Anyway, Rangers double sub, Mariam Mostagimi. Good shift in central midfield. She makes way, as does, I think that's Gabriela Silva, the goal scorer. And high fives on the Rangers, in the Rangers technical area. Meanwhile, Poppy Tay is back onto the field wearing Ellen Hughes' jersey. And the players coming on for Rangers, as I said earlier, Charlotte Page Johnson, one of the two. And the other is Claire Holder, Johnson wearing number 46 and Claire Holder wearing 46 divided by 2, 23. And Rangers now have 2 Australian national futsal team players on the field.
Reaction, let's go.
Good effort from the women's national futsal team. Actually, it was not that long ago. Australia's first ever participation in the Southeast Asian Championships. Got all the way to the final and lost in a thriller, 5-4 to the host Thailand. And well done to the players, and well done to them on creating history. As Tay.
Go again, Poppy, go again.
Now Hook, Hook appears to be... Well, actually, hold that thought. Kristanovska could be under pressure here and plays it out, but yes. Hook now playing in central midfield after Mostagimi was withdrawn. And it is now Johnson playing, Sarah Page Johnson playing at left back. Well, Claire Holder appears to be a straight swap for Gabriela Silva as the most attacking midfielder for Rangers out of the 3. But Rangers have to think about defending here. Brewster shoots, hits the fence behind the goal. And Sydney Uni into the final quarter of an hour, very much in this. And I'd have to say it's been a as Hugh Holder gets the touch forward. Regardless of what happens, I think I've been impressed with the way Sydney Uni have reacted after going down to 10 players. They've asked a lot of questions defensively of Rangers, and to their credit, Rangers have answered said questions. Kajazi. Juric looks up, wants to switch, but instead safer ball to Harris. And now work back to the keeper, Alex Huon at the back, asking her teammates to step forward, squeeze the space. Here's Van Dijk. Now, a couple quick passes, but then Johnson steps in.
Holder. Sarah into the box. Now, Camilleri let it roll across her body. Has clipped and has won the free kick, and it's a great position for a set piece. Possibly, if anything, a little bit too close to the box, but still a great opportunity for the Rangers to double their lead.
Set it up, let's go, Chel, set him up! Charlie, just in front of her,
Now I think I see Jenny Hill getting ready to come on. Anyway, it's going to be Claire Holder. Blasts it and beats the 5-player wall, but also goes over the crossbar. Now, Sydney want to make a sub, and we'll wait for the next window. Next opportunity, the next stoppage. They're going to use their final substitution window, I believe, and it'll be to introduce Jenny Hill into the play. Isabella Rudd, I think, is the player who'll make way, and there's some congratulations as well from the coaching staff. Jenny Hill will take a place in Sydney Union midfield for the closing stages. Thompson scrambling back. Now it's with Van Dyke. Kirby. Thompson, now Kirby overlaps. That's good play. Bit of heavy touch that allows Williams in for the tackle. Now it's boomed into the middle. Kristanovka's up, and it actually, I think, good goal sense, just knew it was going out and just let that happen. Risk minimization as Kristanovski goes long from the goal kick. This will drop for Camilleri. Camilleri. Sarah now, I feel like, yep, Alfarage's offside. But that's pretty clear, even though I'm not in line. Harris and Jurich had gotten forward, but that will swing out of play. Now, well, that will be retrieved by Thompson. Another run. Thompson shoots, but it goes over a bit high and a bit wide. Before I forget, should give a plug to next weekend's fixtures, which you can watch the same way you're watching this one on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. And yeah, long weekend time, because it is Catholic Easter next weekend. And the NPL Women's New South Wales action starts on a Friday, the 3rd of April, a 5 p.m. kickoff. This actually involves the Rangers, who are heading up to Cromer Park for their next fixture. Sweeper keeper work there from Promic. There's 3 games on Saturday, the 4th of April. It starts at, the action on that day starts at 2:40 p.m. It'll be Bulls' first game back at Northbridge Oval, with Bulls hosting Sydney Olympic. And 3 p.m. on Saturday the 4th, Spirit host Apia at the Arctic Circle, as there could be a chance here, and it's blasted in, but by Despina Vasiliadis, and that, you think, will be that, as they worked it off the throw-in. And Vasiliadis, who's worked hard all game, snuck in behind. It's a clinical finish to make it Rangers 2, Sydney Uni 0. Into
into the 85th minute here. Vasiliadis, I think she had that one chance early on which was saved. But just put in a good shift. And for the whole game, it has to be said. And she's been rewarded with a goal, her first goal of the season. Did get back into an onside position and clipped by Williams. So long range free kick coming up for Sydney Uni. And as I use this stoppage, let's plug the next game from the long weekend on my list. That would be Saturday 4th of April, 5 p.m. from the Village Green, UNSW hosting Northern Tigers. There's also, actually I'll also be calling the game on Easter Sunday, Sunday 5th of April, 5 p.m. It's Sydney Uni's first home game of the season. They're at the Sydney Uni ground and they're hosting Illawarra Stingrays. Anyway, Jenny Hill over the set piece. It's up and Kristanovska catches it and takes a little tumble. By the way, as Kristanovska boots it long. There's also 2 games on Catholic Easter Monday, so Monday 6th of April, 3 p.m. The Macarthur Rams host Hills United at Linwood Park, and then I've got another game. I'm calling another game on the Easter long weekend, but back to the action here. It's Rukaya Alfaraje and shoots over, but in speed, she's still full of running even at this late stage. Got away from the defense. Getting a foot a little bit too much under the ball. But anyway, that game I'm calling on Monday 6th of April, Easter Monday, 5 p.m. from Wanderers Football Park in Rudy Hill. It's Western Sydney Wanderers Academy versus Gladesville Ravens. There's also a League One women's. There's also next weekend's League One women's match of the round. And that's Saturday 4th of April at 5 p.m. down at Sir Ian McLennan Oval with South Coast Flame hosting Sutherland Strikers. And as Fromek gets the ball. Now, it's not really the contact she wanted, so Sarah's in there. And we are in the 88th minute. Actually, probably one final reminder. As Hijazi, decent ball forward to Tay, but the flag will go up. Flag's up for offside. But probably one final reminder. NPL Women's New South Wales Team of the Week. That'll be posted sometime tomorrow, probably in the afternoon. A chance to see who got the 3-2-1 votes from the 7 games in NPL Women's New South Wales Round 4. Am I saying this because the Football New South Wales media manager Mark Stavrilakis just sent us all a reminder message? Who can say? Alfaraja, another good run, and he's making it difficult for Harris. Cross goes in, it's off Van Dyke. Alfaraja again. And now a chance for Uni, maybe. Thompson keeps it away from 2. And there's options in front of her. Left foot ball, switches it, but Hijazi a little bit on her heels. And Zreika taking the initiative. And perhaps more initiative as she crosses halfway. Zreika pretty much joining the attack now. Wants the ball from Sarah. Did she stay onside? That's a great run from Zreika, and she's got an option in the middle. She goes for the chip, and it's off the post and rolls across the goal line. It stays out. Back into the middle. Vasiliadis has been pinged for the foul there, but that would have been an early contender for goal of the season if that had gone in. Zreika with the intercept that ran it all the way up the field, had the finesse to float it over the keeper. It's rolled off the inside of the post, and from a Rangers perspective, agonizingly across the goal line, not over it. Score stays at 2-0 to Rangers. Huon. And that's going to be a Rangers free kick. And into the final minute of the 90 now.
Camilleri gets it back from Holder. Camilleri. Not sure what to defend here, and she's fouled Brewster. But there we go, just really test the memory. Just it's Camilleri just checking that her Mascot Vipers Futsal Club teammate Emily Brewster was okay here. And meanwhile, Poppy Tay, I think, presumably, for something she said. Oh no, wait, hang on. No, it's actually... No, actually, no, it's not Poppy Tay. I think it's Camilleri going into the book for the foul on Brewster. Now, Paris. Into the blender it goes. Decent header into the middle. Also away by Zreka. Thompson. Kirby. And defended by Johnson. Johnson, it's a decent ball. Now it's Claire Holder, but lunging, and that will go back for a foul on Johnson. I think we're into stoppage time now. Yes, we are at about 40 seconds of it.
No fouls. Good.
Drew Tamarind. I knew I was going to do that. The Rangers are making one final sub, set to make it. So Layla Barton will enter the field. Well, enter wearing jersey number 21, although Dribble said she was wearing 211, so I'm glad it's an easier number to say. And Layla Barton replaces Jakili Cook, who has been quite dynamic today, both on the left side of the defence and in central midfield. Now, here's Kirby. Oh, it actually deflected off a teammate, and now could be a chance. Juric is steaming in, but Krasnovska got there first. A good starting position from the Rangers soft stopper. And yeah, she's no subtlety there. Just going to get it away from the goal. Kirby now. Delivery from out wide towards Hijazi. Might get a chance here. Zreka again. And Hijazi has snuck it over the line. So this one ain't over yet. Substitutes found a way onto the score sheet. Noor Hijazi didn't give up on that. In the 3rd minute of added time, she's pulled the goal back. It's now Rangers 2, Sydney Uni 1. There can't be much long left. Rangers just going for territory.
Where are we? Can we get across? Rui, come across.
Rangers trying to box in Uni inside their own territory, and that is good defending from Sarah. Holder, well, we know where this is going, just down the line. As close to the corner flag as they can get it. Now, Hijazi, it's sideways touch. It'll be up for grabs here. Header from Thompson. Now Kirby just gone long. Now Tay very much outnumbered here. Williams is across. And Williams just takes the safe option. And in fact, that's the final whistle. So the Rangers back to winning ways. It's their 2nd win of the 2026 campaign. And despite a late heart flutter or two, they defeated Sydney Uni by 2-1. And it was Gabriela Silva opening the scoring in the first 10 minutes with a shot from out wide, which floated in at the far post. And plenty of endeavour from Sydney Uni, despite a red card in the second half. It was only late, about the 84th minute, that Rangers scored their second to pretty much make the game safe. Good finish from Despina Vasiliadis, but then right at the end,
Noor Hijazi scoring a consolation goal for Sydney Uni, and that's how we got to the final score of the Rangers 2, Sydney Uni 1. I hope you stick around on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel for the dying stages of the game between the Ravens and the Stingrays, or even the second half of the game at the Crest between Sydney Olympic and Hills United. Last I heard it was 1-1 there, and that's one final plug for the next two games these two teams play. The Rangers are away at Cromer Park on Friday the 3rd of April, 5 p.m. kickoff there. That game will be called by Teo Pellizzeri and Emily Arnold, while Sydney Uni's next game is on Sunday 5th of April. I'll be calling their game at home against the Illawarra Stingrays, and I've also got a game on Easter Monday 6th of April, 5 p.m. between the Wanderers and the Ravens. But for now, on behalf of Football New South Wales, our broadcast partner Sportscast, and today's camera operator Peter, this is Eric Subiano signing off from Edmonton. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage. Hope to see you soon again on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. The final score is Western City Rangers 2, Sydney University 1. Good night.